Hi, welcome to the TriEssence martial art channel. Now next we're going to look at an example that was recommended to me by someone who believes in self-defense specialized courses, right? He said I should get this guy's book or DVD and, and be enlightened on real self-defense. Now I have nothing against this person, I don't know him personally, so I have nothing against him personally. But since he was referenced, I'm going to share what I think about the DVD trailer. Obviously, I'm not going to buy his DVD or his book and waste my time on that. But but to be fair, I did look at the trailer and I would like to share what I think of it. Again, I have nothing against him in person, which is why I'm not going to mention his name. But I am going to show you clips so you have a better idea of what I'm looking at, to understand what I think about those things.
The speed and brutality of a predatory attack can shock even an experienced martial artist.
So the first thing, he showed, or his student showed something where, obviously I'm not going to throw him, right? Because this floor is not padded. But in the video, he showed that he threw him like this over and then on the ground, and that's a ground control position where you can choke him or control his arm, figure four, transform into a side mount, and then you can go to full mount or whatever. First of all, if you're struggling with someone like this on the street, your first choice should not be trying to throw him over and go with him on the ground, because when you're on the ground, there's a lot of things out of control. Okay, if you have a friend that comes to help him, you are stuffed. So while again, I'm not saying jiu-jitsu is not useful, but you should never voluntarily go to the ground. The very fact that he shows, obviously I don't know the context because this isn't the full DVD, but from what I can see, I don't agree with it. There are many other things you can do from that situation rather than taking him to the ground. Second of all, so next you see a female standing here. The guy charges at him like run. Okay. He runs and then you throw him over. Okay. Again, the throw itself is valid, but you have to ask yourself, when in self-defense, in a street situation, do you ever see a guy running at you like that? Almost never. I mean, who does that? Unless he's crazy, or you're meeting a madman, or maybe a World War Z zombie attack, right? Otherwise, no one charges you like that, right? So most likely, casually walk past you, and they're like, giving you money, or in a bar, they'll just walk out to you and say, what's your problem? No one's gonna charge you like that, so I don't even know why they trend that. And the other one, the other one is the same, right? Where the guy runs, and then he does this, and then he flips the guy over. Again, no one, at least 99.99% of the people who might attack you on the street, are never going to do that. I don't know why they trend that. Maybe they trend that for coordination, tumbling, I don't know. But as far as self-defense goes, that's pretty bad.
The sudden chaos, the cascade of
Okay, now this one, basically showing a guy and a female in a clinch situation, and then the female got to here, I think this way, and then try to trip the guy over, right, on the floor. Obviously, I'm going to do it for real because it's a pattern. Again, this is a technique that works. We see it from time to time in octagon, in MMA matches, and sometimes in stand-down as well. But what you don't often realize is that it works when the two parties are of similar strength and weight, or when the person applying the throw is actually superior. But when there's a female against a male who's actually taller and bigger and stronger, in an allocation like this, chances are he's going to push me over. Okay? You can't even apply this trip. You can't even get your body lean over enough to apply the trip. So you see, the problem with these things is that they are applying to people who are not giving them full resistance. We give the illusion that this technique works. But when we actually use it on the street against someone who's actually active, no one comes to a clinch with you and do this, right? In the real life, I don't even see people doing clinch. But if they do, let's come this way, right? It will be, stand up. No, stand up. So if someone do engage in a clinch, it will be like, it's going to be much more violent like that, okay? It's not going to be, and during that time when two forces are bumping each other like that, you're not going to be able to even if you don't do spread, you're gonna like run into each other. Right? It's very hard to do this trick unless you're at least of equal strength. But while that throw is legit, I would recommend that to a female practitioner, okay, against someone that's much taller. Especially training in a way that the taller male is not applying all his pressure against the female. I mean, sure, if that guy applies all the pressure to her and she can still overcome it, then she can use it. But I highly doubt that, and I wouldn't recommend it because of that.
In reality, the assault is over in an instant. How does anyone prepare for that?
Alright, so in the next clip, you see that they're doing something against almost like a clinch into a takedown, right? So they're sort of in a situation, you get up a bit higher, in a situation like this, and the guy eventually tries to tackle him and push him to the wall, and then the other guy is trying to elbow him on the back of the head. Alright, so first of all, the back of the head and the neck is a very potent spot. So hitting there is advisable, so there's nothing wrong with that. However, the first problem I have with that part of the video is that clearly the student's motion of elbowing is not aligned properly. He has very bad body mechanic, right? If my student was doing that, the first thing I would say is stop, learn how to strike properly. You might say, in a fight it's chaotic, you can't always strike proper and perfect. Yes, but this is training. If you don't even try to strike properly in training, you're never able to strike properly in a fight. But it doesn't mean that it is impossible to have better form of striking and body mechanic in a fight. You simply, yes, you are being pushed back into a wall, but you can still align your elbow properly with your hand and not like this, and try or like that, or like misaligned it, right? To have the proper power, you have to have this as perpendicular as possible, and you can't turn your wrist like this or like that or any other crooked way. You need to be like this and drop it down as solid as possible, okay? So these are things that these so-called self-defense instructors don't understand. It's proper body mechanic, how to deliver the move more efficiently, okay? Because those are what makes and breaks any confrontation, is how well you move compared to the other guy. Right? Striking like this, or like that, or any other way, when the elbow and the hand are not aligned, you have much less force than if you hit like this. That's the first thing. The second thing, Gracie and the Jiu-Jitsu guys have already proven that when somebody tackles you and he knows what he's doing, it's almost impossible to elbow the back of the head. Okay, so I don't know why he's still doing this. Maybe this is a very old video when people are still thinking they can elbow someone on the back of the head. But the truth is, okay, often people that do jiu-jitsu will think a double leg takedown is when you go like this and you take the guy, and obviously this is exposed. But if you actually look at proper instructional video, or just look at the matches when they do a proper double leg or single leg takedown, the head is actually here, okay? It's under your armpit. They're not here will give you enough space to hit them. So they're actually here, and when they take you, right, they're like this, and they're taking you like, they're actually pivoting you with their head too, or this way, okay? They're not here. So you actually, most of the time, if he knows what he's doing, you can't actually elbow him on the back of the head. Of course, you might say that, the guy on the streets, no jiu-jitsu. That could be, but with the popularity of MMA gyms and UFC and Bellator and other MMA format tournaments, more and more laymen are educated on these basics, mechanics, and methods of MMA. So you can this is no longer an age where you can say, the guy on the street doesn't know anything about MMA. And the truth is, if you watch a lot of these street fights, especially in America, more and more people are learning how to do double leg takedown. Some of you know how to do a takedown and do a mount and do, a ground and pound. So you can no longer say that they're all noobs, right? There are going to be people who know some basics on takedown. And if you are not aimed against the proper takedown, you're going to lose. So why would you bank your self-defense on the other guy being a completely noob at what he's doing, when you can base your defense against people who knows what they're doing, which at the same time would also work on people that don't know what they're doing. Okay, so you want to learn how to avoid a double leg takedown. Learn, Roman Greco wrestling, freestyle wrestling, jiu-jitsu. They have much better counters to this type of elbows him on the back of the head, right? When someone do a takedown, just so that you might not know, you do a sprout, you control him, you do underhook, overhook, you do other things to control it so that you don't get pushed up against the wall, right? If the guy knows what he's doing and he pushes you up against the wall, all you have to do is bounce off and then pick you up, and then you are gonna fall. And once you fall on your ass, well, you're on your ass, and that might be the end of your life. So, another example, typical example of how people who doesn't know what they're talking about is trying to teach you how to defend against a half-ass executed double leg takedown.
Rory Miller has created a series of drills to train you for the worst aspects of a fight that will challenge you in ways that mere physical training does not.
Alright, the next one, we see the guy in a situation something like this, and then he goes and show a kind of a hold like that, something like this, or the other way. Yeah, I think he does something like this, and he tries to straighten on it. Be nice, and hold him like this. Okay, so again, this works, on paper. Problem is, when you are I don't know why you will get into this situation, right? And if you do, it will not be stationary. The guy will be sure to push you and try to throw punches at you or try to do something to you. It will not be stationary. So the chance of you having a perfect time to apply a hold is very slim. And as you see, right, his natural reaction is to bend his arm, and when you like this, you can't hold it. So, it's like, either way, it doesn't work. So why waste time learning something like this, having the illusion to your student that you can control someone by doing that, when there's a way better solution? When somebody comes to me like this, hit him in the ribs, simple as that, right? The moment it takes for him to come closer, man, I don't buy it. When it comes to try to grab me or do whatever, I'm gonna hit him in the ribs, I'm gonna hit him in the face, I'm gonna hit him some more. Why waste time putting him in a lock when he's giving you everything exposed? When he's doing this to me, these hands are not immediately straightening me. It straightens me once I lose balance. But when he comes to me, I'll just hit him, and hit him, and hit him. And then, I don't have to worry about this. And if you do end up in this situation, right, look at clinch, like from Muay Thai or wrestling, or even internal martial art in push hand. It's a very slim chance of doing that. Instead, you have to make sure that his force pushing you doesn't push you like this. If you're like this, you're going to lose most of the time. And unless you're stronger, you are going to end up like this. Even if you are similar strengths, you'll be in a stalemate, at which point you can't really do much efficiently. So I would say if someone, I don't know why they will do this to you in the first place, but let's say they do for argument's sake. I would recommend controlling the hand, right? Don't let him exert force you, and then you can hit him. Why waste time trying to control an arm? Or, when he does that, clench in, right? And do Muay Thai stuff. Or does that, to go to an underhook, and then, do your wrestling stuff. There's so much better things to do in real actual martial arts than the stuff that he's showing, which doesn't actually work. And that's my point, right? They might even have the situational awareness, verbal de-escalation, all of that down, but their fighting, in a nutshell, sucks.
Against weapons.
Alright, so in the next video, you see a guy with a knife, I think with that hand, and then holding on on the girl's neck, and then she stands like that, and then she elbows this out. And obviously, it's a trailer, so I didn't see much of it, but I have seen this technique being taught before. So basically, first of all, I don't know who holds the knife on the left hand, but the left guy is left-handed. I'm going to stand here, as you can see. And so he's going to like whip his shoulder to hit the arm, and then escape his body to the side, and then, the knife goes this way. Problem to this is, will this work? Maybe. Okay. If you're really fast and you're surprised, maybe, and the guy isn't trying to kill you, then maybe you can get off by doing this. But the problem is, what then? Right? Even if he succeeds in this move, hit my arm harder. I'm gonna come back and cut him again. I mean, what's stopping me from, from getting knocked off here and I'm like, oh, he hit my arm away, I lost. No, a criminal gonna be holding a knife here, do this, I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna attack him some more. So why would we not do that when you have nothing to follow up? Maybe he does have something to follow up, but I can't imagine of anything that will work, because in doing this, okay, let's imagine it's a war. In knocking this knife out of the way, he's essentially disengaging from the knife, which means up to this point, he no longer has control over the knife. So my knife can be here, 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 at any angle, and he has no tell, and not able to control where my knife is coming back. So unless in the next motion, he can strike me so hard that I'm completely decommissioned from carrying on the assault, which is highly unlikely, especially when it is a girl, then he's pretty much doomed himself, right, to be stabbed. But over here, while this is dangerous, I'm actually giving him control, at least the potential to control my knife hand. But he knocked it out the way. Now I can go here, go there, I can do anything, and he no longer knows where I'm going. So it's actually from a bad situation to an even worse situation. And I can't imagine of any good counter or guaranteed successful win from that point onwards. Okay? I mean, you can try to do this and maybe strike him in the ribs, hit him in the head, but these are all situations when the other guy's got a knife. So I'm not going to talk about how to defend against a knife because this is risky. I wouldn't recommend any people to actually try to do this, right? You chance out, if somebody got a knife on you, give him whatever he wants. If you're certain that he's going to actually kill you and not want something from you, then give a shot, right? You might as well gamble if you know you're going to die of certainty. But if not, try to comply. Because it's very difficult to use against a knife. And if I were to fight against somebody who has a knife against me, I would certainly not knock this knife out and make it even more unpredictable. I would instead try, again, I'm not saying this is advisable, okay? But instead of trying to do this, I would actually try to control the hand and, to make sure that this hand doesn't do weird things, okay? But as I said, this is quite a dangerous situation because if you do anything and the guy catch a wind of it, it's your neck on the line. So normally I'll just tell you, do whatever, right? Comply. But if you were to do something, it will definitely not be this. When giving the knife into the wind and not knowing where it's going to come next. That is very dangerous and reckless.
In a crowd.
So in the next one, we see a female get surrounded by a lot of male, and then somehow she pushed out of the way. I'm not even going to go detail into that, right? The reality is it happened in reality. It's one female versus like 6-7 males. She's dead, okay? There's nothing you can do. You can't escape that situation. I don't know what's the point of that drill. Maybe to train something else, but I don't see any constructive point to it, right? If you're a corner like that, make peace with God, because that's probably going to be the end of you.
And while blindfolded.
Okay, the next part, where you see the guy telling you that he can, you should be able to fight blindfolded. That is such a gimmick, right? It's first popularized by Wing Chun, fighting blindfolded. And it's very pretentious, right? Reality is, there's no point. Yes, in Chinese martial arts, Wing Chun, Tai Chi, Yi Quan, you train sensitivity. But there's no point in blindfolding yourself, and unless you're expected to fight blindly. At which point I will tell you, you are going to lose. Not even the greatest master in this world, whether now or before, can actually fight blind, because it just doesn't work, okay? And to train sensitivity, there are much better exercises than blindfolding your eyes. Just the fact that you can't see doesn't make you better at sensitivity, because in practice, if your intention isn't to blind yourself and fight, then the eyes and the sensitivity need to align. What you see and what you feel need to work together. If you actually train blindly, then quite frankly, when you actually train with your eyes open, it will feel different and awkward. So besides being a gimmick, this serves no real purpose. It's only there to impress the uninitiated or the misinformed. You look at, wow, they can defend themselves when they're blind. It's completely rubbish.
Keeping what works, discarding what does not.
Right, next we see an example of pretty bad body mechanic, and that's what I've been talking about all along, right? You see him doing a punch, and then an elbow, and then a punch, and then a punch to the stomach. Okay, these punches are not that bad. I mean, the combo. Problem is, first of all, if you have delivered a solid punch, you can't do another elbow, okay? And if you intend to do a punch and the elbow, you're gonna suck on both. There's not gonna be enough power on both of these shots. So someone who actually know martial arts or know the actual mechanics to combat, whether it's external or internal, will tell you that you have to make a choice. Either you throw a hook or you throw an elbow. You can't throw both, right? Only people who don't fight will think that throwing two in one move is better than throwing one. But the reality is, don't be jack of all trades, be specialized, right? Make that one shot count. Don't do multiple shots when both of them is gonna suck. Rather do one that counts than both that sucks. And then you look at his body work, right? The way he step and punch, and the way that he step again, you can see that there is no body mechanic. He doesn't know how to step. He doesn't know how to step and punch to accelerate the power. He's just simply walking and doing this. It may be work on someone who completely doesn't know what he's doing, but if you meet up against someone who's semi-half decent at fighting, he's gonna get his ass kicked. Okay. I mean, some of you who believe that he's a savior of self-defense, you're gonna disagree with me and hate me. I don't care. Reality is, if that part of the video shows how he moves, he really sucks. I mean, you can argue that maybe he's only showing slow motion, but he's not doing the full thing. What I'm gonna tell you is, even if I do things in slow motion, my body mechanic is still gonna be there. I'm still gonna step the correct way because that's how I train. I'm conditioned to move that way. I can't move any other way. So the fact that when he's not prepared, he moves like that will show that is what his body naturally default to when he's moving without thinking, and that is bad mechanic. Okay, and doing this and then doing that and then punching here, it's just bad. Okay, if to put the same combo into better mechanic, I'll just do hook like this, hook like that, and follow up, and the body shot like that, and that will deliver way much power. And if I were to hook him and elbow him, I wouldn't do a hook and elbow in one go because where to generate the power? It will be a hook. And if I hit him with a punch, why bother? Right? He's already going to be dead. So I can just focus on the next punch. In fact, I would rather do this and then the body shot because the attention is here, and he's going to see it here. Why do two like this? I mean, some people do, but I don't recommend it. And if this shot missed, not blocked, if it missed, the elbow is going to miss too. So again, doing two makes no sense. So if this shot missed, I'd rather follow up with a kick if he's not far away. If he's not far away, I may follow up with a body shot or cross or whatever. It's certainly not going to be a punch and an elbow. And if he blocks, that's when I could use the elbow. But this is very specific to internal style like each one, right? So what I'll do is I'll punch and then there pass the elbow, right? So this motion allows me to wind up enough force so the elbow hurts. Right, so let's say if you put this on. So obviously, you can argue that I don't train his style, so I can't do it properly. But I will tell you that no matter who does this, it will suck, right? If you want to punch an elbow, it's gonna be like that. No matter how much you do it, you see, there's just not enough power, right? Rather, throw a proper hook, okay? Or throw a proper elbow, far better. Or if you wanna, do the hit and get blocked, then so I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna no, that doesn't work. Or let's keep it here. So if I do a hook and I pull out the defense, I will need to hurt like that. Okay. Otherwise, it's pointless. So again, same point. Learn how to fight instead of learning these gimmicks and not knowing how to punch properly. And same with this punch, right? You want to have a punch like that to be solid, you have to have the solid stance. You have to have the delivery from the leg to actually hit hard. You have to use the body. Just doing this. If the guy's got some ab and resistance and it's kind of big, you're gonna suck. All right?
And improving your chances of survival.
Alright, so in the next video, portion of the video, we see that someone throws a punch, and then he defends like this, and then he throws him like this, and then drop him on the ground. Again, another classical case of self-defense technique that I see all the time. And people think it's really effective. The problem is, okay, first of all, I don't know people who actually punch like this, so actually walk into you with a punch so that you can do all that. I mean, normally when people punch, it's gonna be like this, it's gonna be like this, right? So if you think you can actually do all that during this or this and that, well, good luck to you. Then I would say it doesn't work. And second of all, okay, you might argue the guy on the street don't know how to punch. But again, why try to get people who don't know how to punch when you can try to get people who knows how to punch, and at the same time, you find people who don't know how to punch even easier to deal with. Why try for the lesser when you can try for the better? Are you going to bank your life on the fact that everyone you meet on a street allocation don't know how to fight? Okay, that is not very wise. So even if I do, able to catch this punch, he doesn't know how to pull it back, and he actually charging into me with his arm out rather than delivering a punch. Okay, let's just say he for some reason does that, and I was successful in doing that, and then I want to manipulate his head and try to put him down. Why don't you hit him? That's the one thing I keep wondering. Why you have to try to do some kind of manipulation? I mean, sure, if you manipulate him to the ground, it does appear that you are superior. You can kick him on the ground, and when he's on the ground, he can't fight back. But you forget that this is a live person. He doesn't want to do what I want him to do. And he's going to try his best to not do what I want him to do and try to hurt me back. Obviously, we can't do this for real, but I'm just asking him to do what his instinct tells him to do when I attempt to do this. See? As simple as that, right? People are not dead. They're not puppets. They do things. And this thing is going to not work because it takes time to do this, to do that, and to do that. And if he's not relaxed like a puppet, his head is not going to go very willingly. I'm going to have to push hard, and which time that hand has got a chance to react. Okay? Instead, if he comes in with a punch, he must just throw a punch. Okay? And then hit him. Not saying he can't get out of it, but you have a much lesser chance, right?
Yeah. Well, it's harder to react. Whereas if you're pushing the face and all these, you got plenty of time to react. Honestly.
Yeah, even if you try to be disoriented like this, it's not a shock to his mind or his neural system. But if you throw a punch and I do this to him, much harder for him to react. Not saying he will definitely fall, but why not strike when you can strike? Okay, these self-defense people for so long has advocated this weird takedown that makes untrained people feel they are better at defending themselves, whereas in fact they're avoiding the obvious elephant in the room, which is they suck at striking. They can't hit hard, they can't hit fast, they don't have to create body alignment, they can't do enough damage. If you're confident in your striking, you don't need to do that. You just simply block the punch and hit him back in the face. And if you hit him twice in the face hard enough, the guy's gonna drop. I mean, I've dropped people with just one click to the chin. It's actually a lot easier than some of you might think, right? It's actually quite easy if you clip these places with a semi-decent punch, right? So, let's pretend his shoulder is his face. And obviously, do keep in mind, the shoulder is much bigger, right? The head is a lot weaker. But let's pretend his shoulder is his head, okay? If you throw a proper punch, I don't punch your hand.
Yeah, okay.
So let's say this is his head. If you have your proper body alignment, I'm not even gonna, get prepared to do that. I'm gonna just casually walk in. Right, that's how a punch will feel like. Okay, let's do it again. So I'm gonna casually walk out and see trouble crash hit you in the head. And tell them what that feels like.
Feels very sore.
Do you think your head can take it?
No, not at all. I won't be standing basically.
So why don't you do that? Why don't you learn how to punch when the situation comes, hit him in the head? Right? The head doesn't work, kick him in the leg, or keep him growing. But then you have the chance to do it, he's not messed up in the head. And if it's not hit him in the head, then hit me in the ribs. Right? And then hit him in the head again, whatever. Do strike, learn how to strike, learn how to hurt people. Don't learn this hippie trash, okay?
Logically, he shares hard-won lessons from a
Okay, so in this video, so basically he engaged the guy, so this hand is actually holding here, and this one's holding the arms. So this is like a typical, kind of engaged semi-wrestling situation, right? So what he did is the guy is pushing into him, and he's like turning around, and from here to push him off. So, well, this might work. You have to ask yourself, why would we want to do that, right? So pretty much, a guy handed himself to you, and you push him away without hurting him. The result is he's gonna come back. No one's gonna be disencouraged because you push him away, in the confrontation. No, it's gonna come back with more force. It's gonna be more aggravated, angry. They might even pull a knife on you, or pick up something. They're not gonna be discouraged because you push them away. All right, it's as simple as that. Well, instead, what you could do when someone, is holding here and there, is to do multi-clench and try to work your way through here, right? If his arm is stopping you, if his arm is stopping you like this, slip this through. And then knee him, right? Do that. You can do, rather do multi-clench, or I don't do multi or wrestling, right? But these are just things that you can do. Or if he does this, you can shoot through and hold him there and then try to throw him, right? Or try to control him this way, and then do something, punch, whatever. And if you do, Chinese martial art like Tai Chi or Yiquan, then from here you can very easily control his weight, and then try to punch him there, and then hit him by disrupting his balance. So the point is, his arms have no threat to you until they hold on and try to disrupt your balance. But as long as you have stable structure, or you know how to balance, you can then find opportunities to disrupt him and then attack him. At the moment you start punching him, he's going to have less focus on trying to disrupt your balance. And in doing so, you are going to lean towards winning this allocation. Whereas if you get here and you try to struggle and push him off, you are not close to winning this situation. You just wasted a perfect opportunity to lay some hurt into him. Okay, so that's a typical example of something that someone who hasn't been experiencing fighting would recommend. If you ask me, I would say either multi-clench him, knee the head out of him, do wrestling stuff, control him in the underhook, and then try to throw him over, or do Tai Chi or Yiquan stuff where you break his balance, and in that split moment you hit him with structured force. Or with the option, then trying to wrestle and then push him out of the way.
Train fundamentals, combat drills, and dynamic fighting. Develop situational awareness.
Right, in the next video, we see a guy walking here, doing a hook, and then the other guy doing a hook, he will block, punch him in the solar plexus, I presume, and then go to here and then trip him and then throw him to the ground. Now again, this looks like it's quite viable, right? Most of the people who are untrained will think, this is a good technique. The problem is, if you put this in real context, okay, can you stop a punch at full speed, like that, and punch? I mean, they're gonna tell you that this punch, the solar plexus, will take this punch off, will take pressure off this punch. The truth is, if some have already launched this punch, it's going to be in momentum. Even if you kill him at that moment, the momentum are still going to carry through. So punching here, which may or may not hurt him badly, is not going to reduce momentum on this punch. So let's just, again, can't really do this without pads, so how difficult to show. So I'm going to ask you to hold it, turn around. No, to turn your arm around. Yes, and hold it close to you, like you're going to shout a punch. And hold this against your head so that you don't get hit on the head. Yeah. So let's assume this is that block. I know it's not the exact same shape, but let's just look at the impact of a punch. And obviously, maybe the guy you meet doesn't hit as hard as me, but you don't know. Maybe the guy is a rugby player. Maybe he's a gym brute. Maybe he's just big. You don't know. You can't bank on the fact that he punched like a wuss. Okay, and keep in mind, I don't do combat sports, so I don't have a lot of muscle on my hand. And internal power are different kind of stuff. I'm going to try to use external punch to demonstrate. So punch at full swing when a guy is trying to hurt you, I'm not talking about like, you know, a wussy punch, right? That's what all these people do in practice. But a full punch, it's gonna do that to the guy. And that is, okay, when he make an arm like this, a triangle, and a pad warding off the force. Okay, let's look at it again. When someone throws a full punch at you, it feels like that. Now, just use your common sense. You think you're gonna be able to stop that punch with a hand like this, and then at the same time deliver a punch and not waver your own balance and structure? You know, I think not. Okay, I mean, if you have internal structure like, you know, what I'm talking about, you know, 4 foundational forces of the internal, then maybe you can, if you have the Taiji force of transference, of separation of yin and yang, and you taking the force. There are things that you can do, but clearly that's not what they are doing. They're simply holding out their arm and trying to do a strike like this. And this strike may or may not connect, but if I were to take a full swing with his arm out like that, he is going to fly that way. And the moment his body turns this way from the punch, or if he's closer, right, it will just make his body lean like that way. So either it's going to be that, or if he hand is further away, it's going to just knock it that way. That punch is not going to hit. And if I'm a vicious guy, I'm not going to just throw one punch. I'm going to be here, I'm going to be down, I'm going to keep throwing. However is that punch going to come? See, a lot of these things seem like they make sense in a non-stressful environment, okay? When a guy is just doing wussy punch. But when someone actually coming full at you, you know, these things are not going to work. So when you're examining self-defense, or what I say fighting, you have to fight for real. Maybe not trying to hurt him, but examine everything in reality, right? Like what I just showed. Try to see what kind of effect you have somebody fully swing at you without holding back, obviously with protection, and then you know whether the technique works or not.
As a former corrections sergeant and tactical team leader, Rory Miller is a proven survivor. He instructs police and corrections professionals who need techniques that work and unflinching courage. In Training for Sudden Violence, Miller gives you the tools to prepare and prevail, both physically and psychologically.
The next part of the video, I'm not even going to waste time talking. I mean, anyone who holds a coffee cup in one hand and show that he can deal with 2 people at the same time are just pretentious. I mean, what can I say? Right? Even experienced martial artists, masters, or even, you know, professional fighters are going to tell you 1 versus 2 is quite a big risk. None of them are going to tell you you can actually do it while holding a coffee cup. I mean, what kind of people would believe that? Except egotistic pricks, right? I don't know what to say. It's just, you know, jaw-dropping and astonishing at what kind of things they're able to sell to people.
Take a critical look at your training habits.
Okay, the next part of the video, I'm not really sure the context of that. I assume it's a kind of training to teach the student how to defend. I mean, you know, I hope it's not how they actually teach people how to strike, right? I mean, when the student is trying to hold up the head and, you know, doing all kind of, you know, and the side knee and this, I assume it's for helping the student on defense, right? I mean, if it's actually showing how he strikes people, it'll be pretty bad. But I assume it's not that bad. I hope it's not. But even as a way to teach students how to defend, I mean, what is this? I mean, what does this teach you? I mean, do people actually strike you like that? I mean, I get that you don't want to hurt your student and punch him full force, but you know, why don't you attack them properly, right? Nobody attack you like this. I don't even know what this is. You know, I mean, obviously, if I were to teach my student how to defend, I'll wear gloves. You know, I don't want to hurt them. But let's say I don't have gloves, you know, I will probably make use of these nuts, right? Because they're almost like gloves. I don't have gloves here with me, so I'm going to just use these. And obviously, you know, I don't believe in doing this. I mean, combat sport does, there's nothing wrong with it, nothing is wrong, but you know, we do Chinese martial arts, we don't do that. But the point is, I'm going to come up to a student, even if it's not, you know, full force, I'm going to, you know, give them a hook for real, right? So yeah, don't move. Okay. Obviously, we train while moving, but you know, let's just imitate that. When a guy doesn't move, you know, I'll be like, no, block.
Oh, okay.
Don't move around, right?
Okay,
just, you know, try to defend against strike, right? I'll come up and do this, and you know, right? Or we'll do things like this. I mean, what is that? if I'm not trying to hurt him, I'm going to at least apply some force so that he feels the pressure, what it feels like to be hooked, right? And what it feels like to have a body shot. You actually should come closer. You don't want to go that far.
Okay.
You want to sort of, come like this, right?
Oh, okay.
So that, obviously, in reality, if somebody hits you like that, first an elbow, your fist will break. Anyway, so when we things like that, right? These are just basic examples. I'm not gonna do this, right? If you want to learn against strikes that are at least properly aligned with proper body mechanics, right? Don't do this, because in reality, people might not do that. And if you can't defend against proper strikes, then you'll be fine if somebody actually do weird strike like that. Because that is even less of a threat. So this is not how we actually deal with strikes, but this is an imitation of how we do if we just use our arm to defend, right? But in actual Chinese martial art practice, we have other things. For example, with a hook, we'll actually go into it and try to break the foot before it goes up onto your body. Have you structured in such a way that your body breaks out the impact and not on the arm, so you don't break your force. And obviously, with a straight punch, it will be here. And with like a hook, we will probably, like a body shot, so we'll probably do this and then hit back. Or there are other things, right? So this is just, if we were to use a passive arm block, this isn't about how you block, but how I'm striking. I'll actually strike more real. Okay, the quality of the strike will dictate the outcome of the defender. If you strike badly, the defender will learn to defend badly. This is essentially that.
Couple things about this. I have no interest in teaching people to fight the way that I fight. We're different sizes, we have different mentalities, we're going to be facing different problems. Making little flawed clones of myself does not serve me and it doesn't serve them. So this works with whatever her natural motion or previous training goes. That's what we want. This is not a fight simulation. This is a meat geometry problem.
And the next one, he talks about how he doesn't teach people how to fight like him, but he wants people to find their own solution. And this might sound like a new age, philosophy, hippie truth. And it's like, wow, this is very liberal thinking. Don't train like the master, find your own path. The truth is, you have to know the rule to break the rule. If you come out of the woodlock with no training and tell you gotta find your own path, you're gonna just fight like a noob, right? If you see every single people untrained and influenced by combat sport, fight. They do weird stuff, right? They don't know how to throw a punch. They don't know what is hook, strike, jab, hook, uppercut, cross. They don't know that. So they'll just fight like weird. The whole point of training any martial art is to not do these weird slaps, right? Is to teach your body from chaos into a structure, how to throw punches, where are the combos, how to chain your combos. And that is a very essential part of training. So when you tell people, I don't train teaching how to fight like you, but you try to make them find their own paths, chances are they are going to revert back to the natural state, which is untrained and unrefined and bad mechanic, bad fighting. It doesn't work. And the example he gives is pretty good on this point, right? So what he shows is the guy swings a weird hit like this, like it comes up here and comes downwards. First of all, I don't know who strikes like that. And based on the video, he presents the problem to the students and asks the student what the solution is, and the student ducks down and punches the solar plexus. Sounds like a viable thing, except, again, if you put it into real timing and pressure, you realize that a hit like this is actually really fast, right? So let's say if I'm going to do this, it's quite fast. First of all, I don't know who actually strikes like this. It's a very weird strike. But let's pretend someone does strike like this. It's going to be quite a fast strike. You might have time to duck under, but are you going to have time to duck under and punch him at the same time? I think not. If you look at boxing, right, people who are very good at flipping bob and weave, when they do a hook, they will duck through here and then retaliate. Whether it's a hook, or they will go duck here and body shot. Why would they duck first and then hit? It's because this hit is too fast for you to duck and punch at the same time. okay? And if you do duck and punch at the same time, you are not going to generate enough power. You need to duck really fast. So the whole idea that he's going to swing his arm, like, horizontally downwards, or diagonally downwards, and I duck in and punch him there, is most likely not going to work. Okay, this is a kind of new age hippie thing, right, that fools people. When you come to a proper established martial art school or combat gym, you have to learn the proper way of fighting, ways that people before you have spent years or even lifetime to experiment and perfect. You can't invent your own things until you really know everything, right? The whole notion of breaking the rule is when you have already mastered what you have to learn, then you alter it to fit your own personal habits. Maybe you like to do hook in this situation and bashing in another situation, which is different to how your instructor likes to do. Each of us have a personal habit. So you change the style based on your habit. You don't come up with your own way of solving a solution because chances are you don't know how to come up with a valid situation. You don't know enough about fighting, all right? So this is what I have to say about this particular instructional video on self-defense. Again, like I said in the beginning, I did not watch the full video, only the trailer, so maybe I took things out of context. But either way, my point will stand, okay? At the worst, maybe I misunderstood his context, and therefore maybe I criticized him unfairly, I don't know. I'm not gonna waste time watching a video or purchase a video and watch it then to criticize it. But either way, if you're open-minded about this whole thing, you should be able to get some important pointers on how to differentiate real applicable combat to stuff that looks like it's going to work, but isn't actually good in real life. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you find my channel helpful, please support me on Patreon. Thanks for watching TriEssence Martial Arts channel, and I'll see you next time.